I humbly ask to join your pride.
No! You were banished with the other outsiders.
I have left the outsiders.
The Lion King 2 fascinates me with that pivotal moment when Kovu chooses between Zira's revenge plan and his love for Kiara. The entire story hinges on his decision to reject violence. But what happens in the version where he doesn't? Let's be honest, we all love exploring the darker what-ifs of our favorite stories. This alternate timeline where Kovu kills Simba reveals how fragile Kiara's trust really is, how Zira's obsession with revenge blinds her to real power, how quickly Nuka would turn on his brother. Most importantly, it shows why Kovu's original choice to break the cycle of violence was so significant for the Pride Lands, a lush paradise standing at a crossroads of peace or destruction. But what if Kovu didn't hesitate? What if in that crucial moment when the ambush began, instead of freezing in indecision, he embraced his destiny? Let's picture it. Simba and Kovu walking through the gorge, the same place where Mufasa met his end years before. It's almost poetic that Simba would face his own mortality in the same location, isn't it? The two lions are talking, maybe even bonding a little, when suddenly the trap is sprung. Zira's voice cuts through the air like a knife as she signals the attack. Lionesses emerge from the shadows, their eyes gleaming with hatred and vengeance that's been festering for years in the Outlands. Simba's immediately on guard, his muscles tensing as he realizes what's happening. He turns to Kovu, confusion and betrayal flashing across his face. Did the young lion lead him into this trap intentionally? Kovu stands between two worlds, his resolve wavering like a flame caught in crosswinds. On one side waits everything familiar, his mother, his pride, his mission. On the other stands a future with Kiara, free from hatred. Simba begins fighting for his life, his golden mane catching the sunlight as he roars and claws desperately against the first wave of attackers. His powerful muscles ripple beneath his fur, every bit the king he's grown to be. Then comes that pivotal moment. Simba and Kovu lock eyes across the chaos. Simba's gaze holds a desperate plea, while something hardens in Kovu's expression. Years of conditioning. Simba is the enemy, surged through his veins. With a primal roar that echoes off the steep gorge walls, Kovu lunges forward. The fight intensifies with Kovu joining the fray. Simba's eyes widen as his would-be son-in-law attacks with precision and ferocity. Kovu moves with calculating viciousness reminiscent of Scar, each strike designed to weaken Simba, creating openings for the other lionesses. Their claws scrape against stone when they miss, sending sparks into the dust-filled air. Kovu, what about Kiara? Simba gasps between ragged breaths. Those words make Kovu falter briefly before he renews his assault with doubled intensity. The combined attack overwhelms even the mighty king of Pride Rock. For every Outlander Simba throws off, two more take their place, with Kovu always pressing forward, always finding weaknesses. The battle spans mere minutes that stretch like hours. Simba's movements grow sluggish, his breathing labored. He realizes this fight is lost. We see it in his eyes. Not fear, but profound sorrow for all he's leaving behind. For Nala, for Kiara, for a kingdom that will fall to the wrong paws. Then comes the moment that changes everything. Simba's pinned down by two lionesses, his struggles weakening. Kovu sees his opportunity, the chance he was born for. Without hesitation, he delivers the final fatal blow, the killing bite to the neck that Zira taught him since cubhood. Quick, efficient, deadly. As Simba's body goes limp, silence blankets the gorge. The Outlanders step back, awed by what's transpired. Zira's triumphant laughter breaks the stillness, echoing off the walls, a chilling sound that speaks volumes. Finally, she approaches her son, pride evident as she looks between him and their fallen enemy. But something unexpected happens as Kovu stares at Simba's still form. Victory's rush doesn't come. Instead, as he lifts his paws and sees them stained with Simba's blood, doubt crosses his face. This was supposed to feel glorious. This was supposed to be his crowning achievement. So why does it feel so empty? While Kovu stares at his blood-stained paws, feeling that strange emptiness, another pair of eyes watches from the ridge above the gorge. Kiara stands frozen, her breath caught in her throat, her body trembling as she takes in the scene below. She had been searching for her father and Kovu when she heard the commotion echoing through the Pride Lands, but what she finds now shatters everything she thought she knew. The Outlanders are circling her father's motionless body, some snarling with laughter, others roaring in triumph, and there in the center of it all stands Kovu, the lion she had given her heart to. Time seems to slow as Kiara's heart pounds against her ribs. Her paws carry her down the rocky slope toward the scene of devastation. The celebrating Outlanders, too caught up in their victory, fall silent as she enters the clearing. A hush blankets the gorge. Kovu feels the silence before he sees its cause. When he turns, his heart stops. Kiara stands yards away, her eyes darting between him and Simba's body. Her gaze fixes on the blood staining his paws. Her face transforms. Disbelief melting into realization, heartbreak hardening into rage so pure it makes him want to disappear. How could you? Her whisper cuts through the gorge, sharper than any roar. Tears stream down her face, catching the sunset's glow like liquid fire. I trusted you. I loved you. Kovu steps forward, desperate to explain. Kiara, but words abandon him. What can he say? That killing her father was his destiny. That even as he fulfilled his purpose, he felt only emptiness. Was it all a lie? Her voice cracks. Every moment between us? Was it just to get close enough to murder my father? She moves towards Simba's body, her legs quivering so violently she nearly collapses. The accusation hangs between them, impossible to deny. Kovu stands trapped between worlds, pride in his completed mission, battling the crushing weight of losing her love. I was raised for this, he says, voice hollow. This was my purpose since I was a cub, but when I met you, something changed. I didn't realize what it would feel like to what? She cuts him off. To betray someone who loved you? To murder the father of the lioness you claim to care about? Each question strikes like a physical blow. The Outlanders grow restless. Zira pushes through the circle, face twisted in triumph. Enough! She hisses, eyeing Kiara with contempt. The king is dead. Your father's reign is over. To Pride Rock. Time to claim what's rightfully ours. Kiara backs away as the Outlanders surge forward, snarling as they pass. She doesn't flinch, her gaze locked on Kovu's face. Her silent accusation wounds him deeper than any attack could. I never wanted to hurt you. He makes one final attempt, but you did. She answers, her voice suddenly empty. You've taken everything from me. The finality makes it clear. Some betrayals can never be undone. As Zira calls his name, demanding he join their march to Pride Rock, Kovu hesitates, torn between his mother and Kiara, but the choice is already made. The blood on his paws has sealed his path. Kiara disappears into the savanna grasses. Kovu watches her go, emptiness expanding in his chest. Only now does he understand what he's sacrificed. Only now does he realize the true cost of his choice. As the Outlanders make their triumphant march toward Pride Rock, strange whispers ripple through the savannah. The animals who once thrived under Simba's rule now scatter at the approach of Zira's pride. Kovu trudges behind his mother, the victory parade feeling hollow rather than triumphant. This isn't how he imagined it would feel to achieve what he was born for, what he was trained for since he was just a tiny cub. The crown he fought so desperately to claim now sits heavy on his head, a burden of thorns rather than a symbol of honor. A constant reminder that power gained through betrayal tastes nothing like the sweet victory he was promised. When they reach Pride Rock, the remaining Pride Landers retreat in terror. Kovu realizes with a sickening jolt that he had secretly hoped for respect. Maybe not love, but at least acknowledgement of his strength. Instead, he sees only hatred reflected back at him. The lionesses who once greeted him with cautious acceptance now back away, protecting the vulnerable members of their pride. At the forefront stands Nala, her regal stance unbroken despite the tragedy. Her eyes burn with defiance as Zira slinks forward. Behold the new king of Pride Rock. Zira's voice echoes across the kingdom. My son Kovu now claims what rightfully belongs to him as Scar's chosen heir. But as the words fade, Kovu feels something isn't right. When he steps forward to address his subjects, Zira smoothly interrupts, issuing commands about hunting territories and new boundaries. It's the first moment Kovu truly understands. His mother never intended for him to rule independently. She merely needed him to eliminate Simba. Now she intends to rule through him, while he bears the crown in name only. We should maintain Simba's rotation system, Kovu suggests during a council meeting, only for Zira to interrupt with a dismissive flick of her tail. What my son means is that Outlanders will take the Eastern Valley, and Pride Landers will hunt only when permitted. Every time Kovu attempts to make a decision, Zira appears with a better suggestion that becomes the final word. Not like that, Kovu, she'll say with a patronizing smile. Let mother show you how it's done. Meanwhile, the Pride lands deteriorate. The herds migrate away, waterholes grow quiet, and the vibrant savanna fades to dusty yellow. This environmental collapse mirrors Kovu's inner turmoil, both king and kingdom withering under Zira's ruthless rule. We need to restrict hunting like Simba did, Kovu argues during a lean evening. The herds are disappearing. Zira laughs in his face. We take what we want now. That's what being king means. But Kovu has begun to understand that true leadership means balance and sacrifice. Something Simba somehow knew but never had the chance to teach him. The Pride Landers whisper when he passes, tales of betrayal. They bow their heads not out of respect but fear. At night, Kovu escapes to the peak of Pride Rock, staring at the stars where the great kings watch from above. Is Simba there now, witnessing how quickly his kingdom has fallen into disarray? The thought fills him with shame. This isn't the glorious reign he was promised, but a nightmare disguised as a dream fulfilled. The isolation weighs on him, hated by his subjects, manipulated by his mother, and worst of all, abandoned by the one lion whose opinion has come to matter most. Kiara's absence is a constant ache, a reminder of what his ambition has cost him. While Kovu's isolation grows with each passing day, another lion watches from the shadows with eyes narrowed in bitter resentment. Nuka, the forgotten son, the overlooked heir. What if Scar's firstborn decided the throne wasn't lost to him yet, but simply needed to be taken the same way Scar once claimed it from Mufasa? Every day, Nuka observes his younger brother wearing the crown that should rightfully be his, and with each passing moment, his jealousy festers into something far more dangerous than mere resentment. Nuka paces the boundaries of Pride Rock, muttering to himself as the other lions avoid his increasingly erratic behavior. I should be king, he growls under his breath, kicking at the dirt with his paw. I'm Scar's firstborn. This chosen imposter took my place. His mind constantly replays memories of his cubhood, when Scar would pace these same paths, scheming to take Mufasa's throne. His father's voice echoes in his head. The clever one gets what he wants, Nuka. Remember that? Vitani has been observing her older brother's deteriorating mental state with growing concern. One evening, as the Pride settles down for the night, she approaches him cautiously. Nuka, you've been acting strange lately. What's going on? But Nuka just chuckles, a sound that carries none of his former playfulness, but instead echoes with the same darkness that once filled Scar's laugh. Nothing's wrong, dear sister, just thinking about how things should be. Vitani finds herself torn between loyalty to both brothers, Kovu, now king, but struggling beneath Zira's manipulation, and Nuka, clearly spiraling into something dangerous, but still her blood. The days darken as Nuka's appearance becomes more unkempt, his focus narrowing to a single purpose. He begins following Kovu during his solitary walks, staying downwind so his scent remains undetected. In his mind, Scar's words repeat, wait for the perfect moment when they're vulnerable. That's when you strike. As the drought worsens under Kovu's troubled reign, the young king develops a habit of visiting the shrinking waterhole alone at dusk. Here, away from Zira's controlling presence and the distrustful eyes of the Pride Landers, Kovu sits in quiet contemplation, sometimes staring at his reflection, sometimes looking toward the distant borders where Kiara disappeared. Nuka watches from the tall grass, his breathing shallow with anticipation. The waterhole, he whispers to himself, where Scar once told me Mufasa almost drowned, where father planned his greatest triumph. A twisted parallel forms in his mind. His father eliminated his brother near water. Now he'll do the same. The attack comes on a particularly hot evening when Kovu, exhausted from mediating another dispute, retreats to the waterhole. His guard is down as he lowers his head to drink, his reflection rippling across the murky water. Silence, then chaos. Nuka launches from the reeds. His body slams into Kovu's side. The younger lion stumbles. Water splashes. Claws slash. You took everything from me. Nuka snarls, driving Kovu backward toward deeper water. I am Scar's true heir. Despite his smaller size, Nuka's attack carries the force of years of hatred. Nuka, stop this. We're brothers. Kovu struggles to regain his footing on slippery mud. Blood trickles into his eyes from a slash dangerously close to his face. The fight is brutal but brief, Nuka's frenzied determination overwhelming Kovu's confusion. With a final powerful blow, he watches as Kovu's body sinks beneath the murky surface, crimson clouds blooming around him. Nuka stands at the edge, breathing heavily, waiting. When only ripples remain, a slow, maniacal grin spreads across his face. As the ripples fade from the waterhole's edge, the kingdom's fate hangs suspended in time. But what if death isn't always the final chapter? Downstream from Nuka's violent betrayal, where murky waters carried what should have been Kovu's end, life clings stubbornly to the broken body of a fallen prince. Far from Pride Rock's shadow, Kovu drags himself to shore, his labored breathing ragged against the silence, paws scraping uselessly against cracked earth that crumbles beneath his weight as consciousness swims in and out like distant lightning. Miles away, Kiara wanders the borderlands, self-exiled from the home she can no longer bear to see corrupted. The Pride lands transform under Nuka's chaotic reign even more dramatically than during her father's death. The golden grasses lie trampled and barren, the animals scattered beyond the reach of Nuka's unhinged hunting parties. Like a lone acacia tree standing against a relentless storm, she watches her childhood home deteriorate, her grief for her father tangled with mourning for the kingdom itself. Fate weaves broken threads back together when Kiara discovers something unexpected while tracking a rare gazelle. Kovu's barely breathing form sheltered beneath a hollow log, his body marked with wounds that tell Nuka's fury. The shock paralyzes her, memories of her father's death surging through her veins while something else rises within, an emotion complicated as the savannah itself. Kovu's eyes flutter open, recognition dawning slowly. "Kiara?" he whispers, voice shattered like dry riverbeds. "You should let me die here." The words hang between them, honest, stripped of pretense. This isn't the proud lion who stood over her father's body, but someone broken by his choices. Kiara battles within herself, rooted to the earth as dawn stretches into afternoon. When she finally speaks, her words measure against everything that's happened. "I don't know if I can ever forgive you," she says, "but I won't become what you became." Days pass as Kiara brings water and small prey to Kovu's hollow. His recovery gives him time to speak truths about Zira's manipulation, the emptiness of revenge, and how losing Kiara's love wounded him deeper than any scar. "I was raised to believe killing your father was the only path to peace," he confesses as sunset paints the sky bloody. "I never questioned why until I saw your face in that gorge and realized everything that mattered was already lost." What forms between them isn't forgiveness, but recognition of shared purpose. As Kovu recovers, their conversations turn toward Nuka's tyrannical rule and the suffering throughout the Pride lands. "He's worse than I ever was," Kovu explains, "because he has nothing to lose and everything to prove." Their plan forms gradually. Kovu teaches Kiara fighting techniques he once learned for darker purposes. Their training becomes a new intimacy built on shared purpose rather than innocent affection. Each day, Kovu proves himself by helping Kiara become strong enough to reclaim her homeland. The night before confronting Nuka, Kiara asks, "If we succeed tomorrow and take back Pride Rock, what then? What happens between us?" Kovu's gaze remains fixed on the distant kingdom. "That's not for me to decide. Some actions can't be undone. I don't expect forgiveness. I only hope to help right the wrong I've done." Morning comes, and as they prepare to move toward Pride Rock, Kiara must decide whether to offer her paw to Kovu, whether two broken hearts can fight as one against a common enemy. As we've seen through this dark alternative timeline, Kovu's choice to kill Simba set off a chain of devastating consequences. But what makes this story so powerful is how it illuminates the path not taken in the original film. Kovu's journey shows us that breaking the cycle of violence isn't just about choosing peace in a single moment. It's about recognizing that revenge only creates more suffering. Just as the savannah must burn before new grass can grow, the Pride lands withered under Kovu's rule, while relationships shattered around him. Even after gaining the throne, he found nothing but emptiness. Yet even in this darkest timeline, redemption remained possible. When Kovu finally understood that Zira's dream of power had destroyed everything he truly cared about, he found the strength to forge his own path. What if Kovu killed Simba? The answer isn't just about who would rule Pride Rock, but about how the choices we make define us. Sometimes we have to lose everything to understand what really matters. The cycle Scar began could only end through love and forgiveness. A lesson Kovu learned at a terrible cost, but one that ultimately showed him the way back to who he was meant to be.